Okay, we'll get started then. So first off, thank you very much for attending today's webinar on simplifying venue management with Pitchero and Bookteq. My name's Dan. I work for Pitchero. I'm the operations manager. I'm also joined by another Dan from Bookteq, Dan Scorthorne. He's on the line as a panelist. So what we're going to do today is, we're going to be looking at the Pitchero and Bookteq integration that allows you to save time with your club facility management and how it works. We'll go through how it works. We'll talk about what Bookteq is, what Pitchero, how it integrates with Pitchero, what benefits, why you should be doing and using these tools. We'll then go through a nice demo that Dan's put together where we'll show you how the Bookteq system works. We'll look at how much it costs, and then what you got to do, what you need to do next to kind of move this along and get this implemented within your club. Before we go any further, if there's any problems or if you wanted to talk to me throughout the webinar, there should be a chat box that you can use to type any questions. What we'll do at the end of the session is we'll host a little question and answer session. So if anybody's got any questions, feel free to either ask them as we go, or if you wanted to wait until the end and you've got a few, please feel free to ask anything for myself about Pitchero or anything about the Bookteq system. You can ask Dan, and I'm sure we'll be able to help you out. So Bookteq, we've been integrating with the Bookteq system now for probably about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 months. It's been something that's been in the pipeline for quite a while. We've identified that, lots of the clubs that use Pitchero was having a headache trying to manage their venues online. And we also saw this as another way to maybe digitize some of these old ways of managing your club and trying to grow your club within your local community. So we reached out to Bookteq because they are one of the leading players in the kind of online facility management system market. So we approached them and we decided that their system was definitely the system to use. It was the most intuitive, the most competitive, and it had proven results, especially with the link with Playfinder, which Dan will touch on a bit later on in the webinar. But in a nutshell, Bookteq provides you with online venue and facility management tools. So you can take online bookings for any facility that you have within your club, whether that's grass pitches, 3G pitches, clubhouses, your bars. You can take them for any kind of event, and you can host and control all of these events and spaces within your Bookteq account. Then how that works with Pitchero is that there is a dedicated widget which will appear on your website, and it means that you've got this one-stop area now where you can send any people in your community, people can browse, they'll be able to find an area where they can actually see what facilities are available to hire at your club. And again, with the links to Playfinder, you'll be able to actually advertise those facilities within your local community to try and increase the number of bookings that you do get. So as you can see here, the mission from day one when we decided to integrate with Bookteq is to increase revenue from facilities, keep the community engaged, and reduce the volunteer admin. This is just a little bit about Playfinder. If you've not seen Playfinder, it's the UK's leading sports booking portal. So teams, clubs looking for a venue to play a game at the weekend, or a friendly that might be coming up, they can use Bookteq to search for and make a booking at a venue. So with the integration with Bookteq, Dan will probably go into it a bit more in a bit more detail later on. You will have the option of putting your venue and venues and facilities onto the Playfinder system. So that if, say, for example, people wanted to search for football facilities in London, then they'll go onto Playfinder, they'll find it, your information would appear, and they'd potentially be able to make a booking there and then on your facility that you've got. So it's just a great tool for increasing the number of bookings that you get, and crucially utilizing the facilities that you've got, and making sure that there's not just a bit of a rush at the weekend, or these facilities are being utilized as much as they can. So we decided to use or to source a online facility management tool because of the huge demand from Pitchero clubs. So facilities is a massive revenue opportunity for a club, especially if you can utilize it in the right way. But it's also, as you can see here, notoriously a massive admin headache. So this is probably a site that you guys are quite familiar with. An old notebook behind the bar might be the way that you tend to take bookings for the clubhouse. So that means that the user, or the person who wants to make the booking, has to drive to the club, hope someone's there, maybe have to just get a bit of information from them there and then. They might have to pay in a cash, or in a really awkward way. So by using the Bookteq system, you can modernize this whole process. You can make it so that it removes that massive admin headache, and as you'll see, it'll help you actually increase the revenue that you make from those facilities. I know we say a massive admin headache. It can also cause issues as well in the past. So I know this is a popular example from one of my colleagues' rugby clubs. Using an old, outdated booking system, they managed to do things like book a funeral wake at the same time as an aerobics class, a really loud aerobics class. So it's not a good experience for people who actually make the bookings as well. It caused I think Mark, who it's his club, he said that there was hours and hours of committee discussion about what happened, why did it happen, how do we stop it from happening. And I think the simple answer is to modernize it, move it online, and use something like Bookteq to manage those facilities, and you shouldn't get those kind of issues again. This is just a quick slide to show you that obviously there's some obvious facilities here, like a grass pitch, outdoor areas, but any club that has some kind of facility, like a clubhouse, ground, whatever, there's actually more that you can do with the facilities that you've got that you might not realize. So for example, there was a club that were hiring out not the grass pitch, I think it was a rugby club, not the grass rugby pitch for the community. They were hiring out an area of the kind of land at the side of the pitch to personal trainers, and to get bookings for boot camps and things like that. So I want to kind of get across is that you should think about what actually have you got at your club, what have you able to utilize, and think outside of the box around what you can use it for and what you can actually take bookings for. And with the use of Bookteq and Playfinder, that's where you'll be able to really promote those new ventures that you're going out to. So you can tell people that you're actually taking event-based bookings for certain things and so on. So crucially, the partnership, it's venue management and online booking system fully integrated with your Pitchero Club website. So as I said, you'll be able to use the tools within Bookteq system. So you'll get access to a Bookteq control panel, which Dan will come on to. But it's fully integrated with your Pitchero Club website. So people can actually just go to the club website that you've already got and make a booking from the website without picking up the phone, without having to drive to the club. All easy to manage and fully tracked online within your Bookteq system. So as you can see here, clubs can embed the Bookteq booking calendar. So that can go straight onto their club website. The members can see available slots, book online 24/7 within the website. Payments, email confirmation, and invoicing is all managed through Bookteq and their control panel, which we'll go into in more detail. And then clubs can manage who has access to payments and reporting. So it's a bit like your Pitchero control panel. You fully control how it works and what people have access to. So you could have your events manager or facilities manager, with the full access to certain things, to everything. But your treasurer might want to have access, but just to the payments area, just so you can see what's going on. That's what the kind of customization you can do to it. This is just the page that you might have seen within your control panel. So if you go into your club control panel, you'll see there's a facility bookings area, and within there's more information. There's links where you can book a demo, and crucially, this is where you can actually get started. You don't necessarily need to make contact or fill out a form or anything like that. You just have to click on this button and follow the steps then to get started with Bookteq. So if you're ready to go with the Bookteq system after this call, if you click on that button there, get started today, connect to Bookteq, that's how you get started. We did have a 1 month free trial. I know that did expire in the past, I think, Dan, but for anybody who's on this webinar, I'm sure we can arrange a 1 month free trial. So make sure you do get in touch after this and mention that you attended a webinar, and we can definitely apply a 1 month free trial for you as well. I'll hand you over to the other Dan at Bookteq now, and he will go through this demo with you.
Thank you very much, Dan. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar. I'm also Dan, as the other Dan mentioned, part of the business development team here at Bookteq. What I've been able to do for the purpose of this webinar is just put together a demo of the Bookteq system that will last roughly about 10 minutes. It will walk through all the functionalities around Bookteq, including 3 new features that we've recently created within the system, which include additional questions, add-ons, and approvals. And it will also show you the front end. So what I mean by that is what the user journey will look like and what the user will see when they're making a booking online via an online calendar. So Dan, if you want to press play and we can watch this for the next 10 minutes.
Sounds good. Let me know if there's any problems with the playback or
demo today. We're going to go ahead and log into our account. And what we're going to be able to see initially is our dashboard landing page. Now, this just gives an overview of the bookings that have taken place across the venue over the last month and also over the past year. It spots trends around revenue and utilization, and also gives nice breakdowns around our space, around activity, and also where our bookings have come from. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do as a self. Now, under venue settings and venue information, you'll be able to see all the specific fields that you'll need to fill out in order to create your venue and get it up and running. And once you've done that nice, easy and quick step, you're in then a position to create your spaces and your facilities. Now, initially, we define a space as an area of your venue that can accommodate 1 or more facilities. So a 3G pitch is typically quite a good example, because the 3G pitch is our space, and underneath that space, we have our facilities. We have our full pitch, half pitch, even third pitch, if you wish. We can go into these individual facilities and we can see that we can name them, we can associate price schemes to them, even alternate pricing. So if you have any community prices or winter prices, things like that, you can associate that here. And we also have our booking settings, and this will dictate the parameters of which people can book on your front end booking calendars, either through your website or also through the Playfinder marketplace. So if we go back 1 step, we're also able to see that Bookteq has a shared facilities function as well. So if you have a space where there's going to be multiple activities being used, then here you can tick the boxes of the facilities that can't be booked at the same time. This means that any potential for double bookings will completely be eliminated. Now, we can also see that I have an area here for space hire. So we're not just focusing on sports facilities in general. And I can see I can manage my clubhouse and any type of function room in the exact same way. So once you've created all of that and that's set up to your venue, you can go ahead and create price schemes. And these are done on a facility basis. And once these have been created, then they can actually be associated with the individual facility. If I go into one of my price schemes here, so full pitch 3G, what you'll be able to see is that I can actually add different layers depending upon the time of the day and the day of the week. So it's really good to show peak and off-peak pricing across your venue. And as we can see right at the bottom here, we've got a really nicely laid out calendar. So anyone looking at this internally will know exactly what's being charged on any particular day. Now, I really want to move on to 3 new features that we've actually released over the past month. The first of which is additional questions. Now, this simply allows you as the venue to ask questions to the customers before they go ahead and create a booking. So the example I have here is amount of people. So this can be used in particular with space hire. And my full question is, how many people are going to be attending this booking? So if a user is booking this space online, they will see this question. And also, if you're creating a booking on behalf of a customer, you will also have the ability to answer this question as well. We can indicate what type of question it is. Is it a yes, no? Do we require a number, or do you just want plain text? And we can also indicate if this is going to be mandatory or not. So they will have to answer this question online before they can proceed with the booking. And then I can be really specific around what facility I actually want this to be applied to. So we've got flexibility. The second feature is add-ons. Now, this works in the exact same way as additional questions, but these are sort of extra revenue streams that you can benefit from as a club. This could be equipment, this could be any catering, it could be tea and biscuits, it could literally be anything you like. So in this instance, I've got my catering option 1. I've got this here, I can indicate a price. I can also select if there's a quantity around what I'm offering. And again, I can also select on what facility I want this to be applicable to. So again, anyone coming through the front end has the option to add this add-on. And also if you're creating a booking in the back end, you can add this on behalf of the customer. It will be contributed to the overall price of the booking and they will pay in full. The last feature I want to walk through with you is approvals. So this essentially gives you the power as a venue to either approve or reject bookings as they come in online. I can set an approval expiry period. So after how long do I want these bookings to just go away if I haven't actioned them myself? There's a concurrence check. So any bookings that I approve at any particular time of day, going forward, any bookings that arrive on the same time will be automatically accepted because you know you're going to have staff there to actually facilitate that booking. And again, I can indicate on what facilities I want approvals to be activated with. So that's great. So if a booking does come through the front end and lands in my system, what is that going to look like? How do I then operate that? So if we go under approvals, just under customers here on the left-hand side, we'll be able to see the list of bookings waiting our own approval. We can also show all bookings. So that will show all the approved bookings and all the rejected bookings. Actually approving or rejecting a booking myself is done in the following way. I can either click the tick box here and approve this booking, and then the sum of money will actually be charged to the card of the customer. Alternatively, I can actually reject this booking by clicking on the dustbin icon. I can also give a reason as to why I've rejected that booking, and it can also block this facility on this time and date for any other potential customers. I can also view these approvals through my calendar. So if we go onto my calendar, we'll be able to see all bookings that have actually appeared in our view. So any blue bookings are cemented bookings that have been approved. Anything green is actually custom events. And we've also got the potential to take reservations as well. Now, if I go on any particular day, I can see exactly what is going on across the venue. And if I click to a particular day in December, I can also see that I've got my custom events very, very clearly. I've got my reservations and my potential bookings. And I've also got my pending bookings for the clubhouse in orange below. So from here, I can actually go into these bookings and I can either approve or reject the booking on this basis as well. As a volunteer, you're also able to approve or reject bookings via your email. So you can actually do this on the go as well. And as we can see, it actually includes all the additional information that you've asked for on behalf of the customer, so you can make a more informed decision on either approving or rejecting that booking. For our normal bookings that either we've created ourselves, they will appear in blue, and we can access these in the same way to actually manage the payments for these bookings too. So if I go on to edit multi-booking, it presents this window. Now I can go onto my payments tab. I can indicate how I want this to be paid. I can go through cash, direct debit, back transfer, or I can also actually send a payment link to the customer for them to pay online. And I can also send all invoices from this page as well. I want to create a booking myself. All I will need to do is head over to New Booking. This will provide a window where I can indicate what booking I want to create. It can be a single booking. It can be a multi-booking, which is a block booking or recurring booking. It can be a custom event, and we can also just block the facility off. Once we have proceeded with the booking that we want to go ahead with and filled out all the necessary information, we will also be asked to assign a customer to this booking. And once this booking has been confirmed by us, it will embed into the calendar as these bookings already have, as you can see. And if we click into these bookings, we'll be able to access the window where you can actually manage the payments for these bookings as shown before. All bookings that come online go through the online widget that can be embedded in your own calendar. And that will look a little bit like this we've set on Mock One Up for this demo. So as we can see all the activity that has been shown on this venue. I'm going to click on Space Hire. I'm going to select Clubhouse. And then what I can do is I can select any potential day and actually see the availability of the clubhouse and go ahead and create a booking. At this point, I will also be asked if I need any of the add-ons, and I'll also be asked to answer any mandatory questions. So in this instance, I'm going to say 20 people, and it is an over 18s event, and I can go to checkout. I then fill in all my personal information here and confirm and book. So it hasn't taken any money away from me on this side, and the widgets are designed to increase exposure for the venue, to increase the chance of online bookings, and is also a great way to keep engaged with the community, especially at a busy holiday time such as Christmas. And when we go back to our account, we'll actually be able to see the booking will have appeared in the approvals tab. Now, the last two things I'm actually going to show you are our two databases. The first one is our bookings database. This shows a list of bookings that have taken place across the venue and can also be exported into an Excel spreadsheet. If I like, I can actually do advanced searches. So if I want to see at the end of the month, for instance, who hasn't paid, I can check on my payment status, select unpaid, and search for all those customers that are still yet to pay for their booking. A great way to actually clear debtor lists and stay on top of things. Alternatively, we have our customers database. This is where all customers are going to be stored, and we can actually download reports in the exact same way as a whole, and also on an individual basis as well. I can see any particular usage from any individual or organization.
Brilliant, perfect. So I hope that showed the far and wide features that Bookteq can offer for your club and gave you a really, really good insight into its capabilities. If you want to go to the next slide, Dan. So as was mentioned throughout the beginning of the webinar, the greater company that we work for is called Playfinder. And around 3 to 4 years ago when it first started, Playfinder created this huge marketplace for sports users to go online and discover new local facilities where they could book, pay and inquire online. And it's within Playfinder that Bookteq was actually created. It was created as under the Playfinder brand and focuses more on the venue management side of things. So this is a software that we give to venues like yourself for them to manage the venue independently. And of course, in conjunction with Bookteq, any Bookteq user is able to list their venue on the Playfinder marketplace. And as we can see here, this is a real life example of Basford United Football Club, who are a Pitchero member and also use Bookteq. And this is an example of their listing on the Playfinder marketplace as well. Brilliant. So what we really want to focus on in the next few slides is the real benefits of what Bookteq can actually bring. And the first two main benefits are on screen. So the first one is increasing revenue. We want to allow customers to be able to access your facilities through your website and through the Playfinder marketplace. And this is through the incorporation of an online booking infrastructure. It's a really, really good way to keep engaged with the local community. And due to our own research, you are actually 5 times more likely to convert bookings with an online infrastructure than you are with more of a manual one. And what I mean by a manual process is simply having a website that has an email address or a phone number where people have the choice to ring or email up. If you provide a really good user experience, a user journey that's really, really quick and easy, they're not only more likely to book, but they're also more likely to come back again and revisit and complete that journey again. It's also really, really important that we're not just focusing on sports facilities here. We're not just focusing on the 3G pitches or the grass pitches or whatever facility you may have, but any type of space hire. We know not all clubs have the facilities. Some of these bigger clubs have, but you can still take advantage of Bookteq. You can still use it to manage your clubhouse or any type of space hire that you have. As mentioned before, a really, really busy period is approaching, and I'm sure many of you have lots of social events taking place at the club over the coming weeks. So why not manage that through Bookteq? And as mentioned throughout the demo as well, you can also incorporate the facility of extra add-ons. Do you provide catering? Do you provide equipment? These are all extra revenue streams that you can take advantage of, and Bookteq allows you to convert on this really, really easily. Secondly, we've got reduce admin. So the idea again of Bookteq is really to digitize everyday procedures, especially those admin procedures that you as volunteers want to make as easy as possible. An example of this within Bookteq is auto cancellations. So you can actually set auto cancellations. So if a customer does decide to cancel, as long as it's outside of your own cancellation policy window, then it will just be automatically cancelled for you. So it's not you're having to do less and less work. Things like running reports, things like managing payments, creating bookings, they all tie in together and actually reduce your workload drastically. Allowing users to book and inquire themselves. Again, it all ties in with the online infrastructure, with decreasing your admin, allowing people to go to the front end of your website or to the front end of Playfinder and actually take on that responsibility themselves, book certain facilities online themselves. Again, relieves the pressure off your shoulders. Bookteq allows you to actually settle payments and manage payments through a variety of methods. We've put a real emphasis on online payments and online bookings, as that is the way we see the industry going. But we also know that a lot of clubs and a lot of regular bookers, especially within the local community, still pay via cash or direct debit and even check in the odd occasion. So Bookteq can still facilitate any type of payment management and is really, really good at indicating via what method these customers have paid, how much they've paid and how much left they've got to pay. Well, you can also generate automatically daily, weekly and monthly reports of your own activity. And you can also create your own reports as well. As I showed in the demo previously, you're able to very, very easily go to your bookings tab, search for intricate details such as unpaid bookings, and again, get that information really, really accessible, really, really quick and really, really easy. And we can also see what James Quinlan at Enfield Cricket Club, another Pitchero member, has actually had to say about the signing up process of Bookteq as well. So following on from that, I just want to show you a couple of examples of clubs that have been using Bookteq and the results of that. Firstly, Tooting and Mitchell Football Club. They're a really well-known established football club in South London. And since using Bookteq, they've been able to increase their utilisation rates among their facilities by 26%. And we can see the actual growth year on year by quarter in the following 2 points. So 65% in Q4 2018 to 89% in Q4 2019. And the next one from 59% in Q1 2019 to 92% in Q1 of 2020. 35% rebooked 6 or more times, with 20% rebooking 10 or more times. So this goes back to my previous point about the user journey. The reason why people are finding this method so effective is because the user journey is really, really easy. It's really, really simple to navigate. And once someone finds something that's easy to use and gives them exactly what they want, they're going to come back and use it again. So this isn't just around increasing exposure and attracting new customers. It's also about retention and keeping those new customers for the future. And of course, 41% of payments were made online. Again, easiness and quickness. And as we discussed before, you're going to see a growth of this over the coming years. Blackheath Wanderers Sports Club. They had over 8,000 page views since May 2020. 42% of bookings were actually new users. So again, we're seeing real life examples where we're attracting new business for people and improved SEO presence with top 3 rankings for key search terms. So what this means is you can actually incorporate certain terms within the content of your website. And due to our own work with SEOs, you'll actually rank really highly in Google search terms. Again, we have a really nice quote from Robert Fraser, treasurer of Blackheath Wanderers Sports Club, on the left-hand side. Okay, so what I'm going to go through now is a few clubs that have actually recently been using Bookteq through the Pitchero partnership and share with you a few results and how they've been getting on. So the first one is Muirston United Community Football Club. They've managed 293 bookings via Bookteq over the last 4 months. Baseford United Football Club have managed 622 bookings over the last 3 months. On average, have made £260 per month due to online bookings. Folkestone RFC have increased their bookings 3 times over from September to October this year. And in October, they just made over £1,000 worth of bookings. And what's good about Folkestone is they're actually more or less focused on space hire. So we've seen a real influx in online bookings made to the clubhouse over the last month. So that's where the bulk of that has actually come from, proving that you just don't need to, focus on sports facilities. And then finally, we have Horsham Rugby Sports and Social Club, generated £200 a month through September and October through online bookings. And what's really important here is the figures we're actually seeing clubs generate. This is real cash that can be reinvested back into the club on whatever reason or whatever facility you like. And it also proves our point about a really valuable return on investment in investing in Bookteq. We know our price starts at just £30 a month. The numbers that some of these customers or clients are generating sees a real healthy return on that value. Another key benefit that we are seeing with Bookteq is actually being present in the community. So keeping up community engagement and accessibility. And this is a really, really interesting and hot topic at the moment, especially as we hopefully are figuring our way out of and away from COVID. We want to make sure people are re-engaged, especially as we come into the new year as well. So the first point that we're going to go through on how we believe that Bookteq can help you with that is event management, social events, and website content. Do you run regular community events? I'm sure many of you as clubs do. Why not manage those events through Bookteq? You can manage the payments, you can put them in your calendar, and you can communicate with the users very, very easily. And also around website content, I mentioned this before, but certain phrases and key terms around your website content can actually indicate what's going on to your local community members, and also rank higher in Google search terms. And our marketing team will be more than happy to sit down and actually have a conversation with you about what do you think works best for you and how we can improve that. Discounted rates for community users. I assume, again, many of you have different tiers of pricing, dependent maybe on youth pricing or membership pricing or community pricing. Well, with Bookteq's alternate pricing feature, you can actually add multiple price schemes to certain facilities, so you can ensure that members are actually getting the rates that they want, and you're keeping your most loyal customers happy. Internal usage. A lot of the focus as well, a lot of conversations that we've been having are around increasing revenue, increasing exposure and grabbing new bookings. But Bookteq can also be used to actually manage all internal bookings that are taking place. This could be anything from team training to matches to internal social events, end of year presentations. It could be absolutely anything. As we've seen from Bookteq, you can actually associate managers to the teams that are coming in and taking those bookings, and they can treat them as customers, so they can receive reports on when training sessions are or when matches are. Again, it's a really, really useful way to help manage that admin and reduce the amount of time you spent on organising internal fixtures. Sessions. Instant block bookings and find a game. So these 3 points actually tie in very nicely with what we're doing at Bookteq, because we're actually going to be starting a new project over the coming months that involves the creation of new features around Bookteq and Playfinder. The first one is sessions. This will allow you as a venue to put on classes, to put on boot camps for people to come online and pay for their slot, pay for their space. And I know Dan mentioned it earlier when he brought up the graphic of the pitch of all the space that you have as a club. Just think, are there any sort of areas of your grounds that could in the summer, you could run your own boot camps, you could run your own classes and make use of that. We're also bringing in instant block bookings. So in the way people can instantly book one-off bookings, we're going to incorporate that people can actually instantly book block bookings. So people can go online, see availability, and then actually select payment plans, because obviously bookings are going to be a lot higher in price. So if they want to pay monthly, if they want to pay weekly, they can. So that's a really good way of actually, before a football season, directing people to front of house, the front of your website, and allowing people to block book that way. And finally, find a game. This is going to be a feature within Playfinder where users are actually going to be able to join in on bespoke run games on a weekly basis, really helping people at a grassroots level, and also people in the community find access to local sports facilities and keep people engaged and keep people active. So we're really, really excited about that. Widget and Playfinder Marketplace. This does exactly what it says on the tin, and we've been through this a lot during this webinar, but it's allowing people to actually come online, to book the facilities, and also discover local facilities. I think you'd be very, very surprised at the amount of people who actually don't know what their local facilities are, or where they are, or what they look like. So that's really important. The next point, Playfinder has actually been able to increase the accessibility of sports venues for people from disadvantaged backgrounds by 24%, as shown by the average index of multiple deprivation. So again, it really pays a compliment to what we're doing to increase engagement and provide accessibility for people who may normally struggle. And that ties very nicely into my last point. Ask customers, is this their first time using the venue? Are they new in the area? Are there any disabilities the venue should be made aware of? It's really, really important that you as a club or you as a venue can show that you are a true accessible source for everyone in the community. So this is the pricing structure of Bookteq. We still have the first month free trial period up and running. So anyone that does sign up to Bookteq through their dashboard will be able to access that free trial. The price of Bookteq starts at £30 a month, and that is inclusive of VAT. There is a 1.25% maintenance fee on online bookings. And if you want to be listed on the Playfinder marketplace, then there is a commission of just 3% on bookings. So it raises the question, what is your average clubhouse rental? What is your average pitch rental? One booking a month will be able to pay for this itself. And we've seen real life examples of other Pitchero clubs that have come onto Bookteq, done really healthily in the way of their revenue numbers, and have seen real value on their return and investment. And also, we're driving home the message that we want to make sure that we can increase exposure and increase value for you as a club, but also from a volunteer's perspective, we want to make your lives as easy as possible. And Bookteq has the ability and has the features to really help you. So to sign up to Bookteq today, what you can do is you can sign on to your Pitchero admin account, go to your facility booking section across the left-hand side. You'll be able to complete a form, and your own client manager will then get in touch. They will set up some training sessions for you and other colleagues and actually help create the venue itself. So with from the time you sign up, you'll never be left in the dark. We have an operations team who works 7 days a week. So even at the weekend, you've forgotten how to do something and you need reminding, there will always be someone online to actually help you, or a phone call away to advise on your issue. And of course, we've got the 1 month free trial. So this allows you to get full use of the software within that first month, which you can leave at any time. Should you wish to stay after that initial month and you've realized how great Bookteq is, you will then go into your 12-month contract.
Great. Thank you very much, Dan. That was really helpful. And I think it's pretty clear to see how useful this tool that you've created is. And looking at those examples from the clubs that are already using it, it's proven that it will, reduce your time, but also get more visibility on your bookings. So thank you very much for that. Before we go, I'll give people the opportunity to ask any question that they wanted to know. Maybe they've got something that's specific to their club that they wanted to ask. Maybe there's something that you just wanted to kind of roll back on and just double check. There should be a question and answer box within your Zoom screen. So just pop your questions in there, and myself and Dan will quickly go through and see. I'm just going to check if there's any in so far.
We'd also be able to send a recording, obviously, of the webinar to you, so you can share it with colleagues. So if even on a rewatch there are any questions, then don't hesitate to get in contact with anyone at Bookteq or Pitchero, and we can do our best to answer anything.
So there's no questions so far. I'll just give it another 30 seconds or so, but it does seem that there's no questions for us, Dan. So I think that's it. As Dan said, we will send out some emails after this just to check in with people, make sure they've got all the information they need, if there's anything else we can help with. If you wanted to have a bit more of an in-depth demo and discuss things and how it might work at your club, then you can do that as well with Dan and the team at Bookteq. There's a link to book a demo within your Pitchero control panel, but we'll probably send out some emails to direct you to those bookings. So really interesting webinar, and hopefully you've been able to see how this is of great use for your club. So thank you everyone for attending. Thanks, Dan, for helping us. Oh, just as we go, just beat the buzzer there. We've got one question in. We are in the process of getting a lease, so can you send me a copy of the meeting? Yep, Christopher will send you a copy of this. and you'll be able to give that to whoever you need to at the club. Okay, guys, thank you very much for attending, and speak soon and take care. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.